Okay. Lilith asked about pets. So I'm going to let's switch here. Um, should be able to maybe. Come on. Come on. No. There we go. Okay. So we're on this one here. So when we're starting with pets, yeah, look at those skills. Nothing, right? So we just click auto. And I don't know actually how the probability works for the stats. But you could see some of them were red, some of them were green. When these are So it starts gray, then it goes green, then it goes blue, then it goes purple, then gold finally. Until we get to the purple stage, I generally just leave it on auto and use these the common marks. Yeah, the common wild marks. As the levels progress, your probability drops and you will get a lot of bad stat increases. Um, and getting a good one happens less often. I leave it on auto. It just builds them all up uh, relatively equally. Um, so now I'm going to go back to Cyrus here. Hey, is it okay to use pets on Bear Trap 2? I believe. I believe. Is it the same pet cooldown time for all of them? Um, I mean, it has a 20-hour cooldown. Anyways, pets. So I'll show you what happens after you do the auto for a while. Um, okay, so yeah, this just randomly working its way up. We're gonna go this one, same deal. This is different. So this is what I'm gonna get to once you start getting to the gold and purple levels. That one's all gold. That one's going up gradually. This one's kind of a weird one because these ones are working their way up gold, and this one's still like halfway on the purple. I haven't decided what I'm going to do on this one yet, so that's why I've left it. I thought I would have one in between, but it doesn't really look like it. So you can see that one's all maxed. This one's got these four maxed. I don't care about marksman health or lethality. And you're probably wondering why, like, how these were able to get maxed while these are still basically at zero. So this is what you want to do once you get to. So basically, once you get past purple, you need the advanced wild marks. They're incredibly hard to get. They're ridiculously expensive if you're outright buying them. The common marks you get a lot more easily. You can also buy them from the gem shop. So what we do once we get to purple, because if you use these on auto, once you get to purple, you know what? I'll show you. Which one was it? Which one was it? This one. So I'll just do some on auto, and you can see up here, I'm not getting a positive stat gain very often. And when you do auto, it's only going to accept if it's a positive stat gain. So, oh, I got one there. But yeah, see, bad, bad, bad. A lot of bad. So I'm just burning through stones, not getting anywhere at all. Just an absolute waste, right? Every once in a while you get a decent one, but we're wasting stones and not getting anywhere. Um, if you use the gold ones, you're going to have a better chance of getting uh, a positive stat. So once I get to the purple, I keep clicking on these ones. Once I get to the purple or the gold, red, whatever color this actually is. I've always thought it was gold, but now that I'm looking at it, it kind of looks red. We use these, but focus on a singular stat. So the best way to do it is once you get all of them to purple or all of them to gold, and that's why I've left these all right at the minimum gold. And why I've left this one, because this one got to this point by using the gold stone, so there's kind of I'm in a weird situation for this because I'm going to end up losing all of these stats, whichever one I don't decide to focus on. So that will probably be one of the very last ones I do. But once you get to a certain level, you can't drop again. So now that these are maxed, they'll never go down. They're going to stay completely maxed. These ones can never drop below gold now or red. They're always going to, like, this will be the minimum that will ever be now. So I guess I'll just pick one and start doing some things on this one. Okay, well, I'll do some gold just so you can see. Like, that was positive, that's positive, that's positive, that's positive. So you have a better chance of getting a positive stat gain, which of course just increases your overall pet power. And that's all this is referring to is pet power. The things we actually care about are the statistics down here on the right hand side. So we're going to stop that. So I'm going to show you what I recommend doing once you get to purple, because these are super hard to get. These are a lot easier to get, and that's how I was able to get these. I don't care about infantry lethality or marksman health, at least at this point. I really need to make a list of which pets I have at which level, so I don't need to keep clicking through these. Right, so what I'll do, sure, I'll start this one. I want some more infantry health. So, and this is very painstaking and takes a long time, but the only stat we care about is infantry health. If this has a green number, we click replace. If it doesn't, we click retry. Even if we get a positive power gain, we're trying to max this all the way to the top. So the whole thing's highlighted. Or if you're purple, you're trying to get it to gold so then it can't drop any more stat. And then we move on to another one. So because I got, and you can see, it's going to take a while to get like 28.5% going by 0.02 at a time. But it's the most effective way to gain permanent stat increases once you get to this level instead of just doing it on auto, because you're going to continually get red ones and it will eventually accept a positive stat gain, but you're just going to end up trading stats from here to here or here to here, and you're going to hover around the same stats or maybe even lose stats in what you want and gain them in others, like losing health for infantry lethality. So, well, I know we're going to get some examples here. So, 0.02 plus replace. We want that one. So we click refine again. This, no brainer, obviously. Bad stats all around. That's a bad one. Bad stats. Bad stats. Okay. This one, it's funny. This one actually ended up being uh, gaining us net power and giving us the stat we wanted anyways. So click replace. 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 So this is what I'm talking about. We get plus 2520 overall power. We get 3 different stat increases, but my infantry health goes down. I don't want that because that just takes away everything I'm trying to build towards. And I know it seems counterintuitive, and even the game is going to give you a pop up and be like, are you sure you want to do that? Absolutely, I'm sure. Okay, again, nope, 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 nope. There we go. So I'm losing overall pet power because this is a minus 13. I'm going to replace it, and it will give you this prompt every single time. Are you sure? So I'm going to do that continually. Again, negative stat or negative net power, but I'm adding to infantry health, confirm. So you do that like the last pet day. I used around 6,000 of those common marks that I got from just general accumulation and from the VIP shop. But when you look here, I've got all these maxed now. And the only way you're ever able to gain significant stat increases with these common marks is by doing it this way. During SVS, you get points for using the stones, whether it's a positive stat increase or not, you just get points for using the stones. So like this one I have fully maxed just because it took a lot less to get there. And this is an example. I brought the infantry health all the way to gold. The rest of them are basically at 0. I'm going to do marksman lethality next. And then I haven't decided if I'm going to push the Lancer lethality and Lancer health to gold or if I'm going to start working to max this gold skill. And the other thing to keep in mind, the less stats you have to affect, your probability gets better. So now I only have 2 skills. It's either going to be a positive or a negative. Whereas when you have this many skills, no, not that one. When you have all 6, you know, that could be positive, negative, negative, positive, negative, and the one you're trying to get doesn't even get anything. So uh, it's kind of like a snowball effect. The more you get done, it goes by a heck of a lot quicker. I made the decision not to do the infantry lethality or marksman health just because don't really care for it right now. Yeah, so it's time consuming. It uses a lot of stones. When you get to that point and the gold stones are just way too hard to obtain in large quantities because you need a lot of them, um, and it's super sad when you use the gold stones and you just get negative power after negative power and like negative stats. It's super upsetting, especially when you've spent money on the gold stones and then you still don't get what you want out of it. The regular wild marks seem to be, well, it, yeah, it's just a better way. So that's what I do with my pets. As for which pets to use the stones on first, I mean, you can see this is the one I have max. The capacity here, like the maximum statistic, 44.69. The maximum statistic on this one, I think, was 6%. Yeah, 6.7. But these are also a lot easier to max. So that's like I did it on this one as a proof of concept just to make sure before spending thousands of stones on another pet that once they got to this level, they could never drop again. Um, some people have said going for the bigger pets first make more sense because you like to have a higher statistic. ceiling, like you can go higher on them. I honestly don't think it makes that big of a difference. It just means it's going to take longer to get there. Yeah. So there's my bit on pets. Hopefully that was helpful to somebody.